Alright, so I want to do a video tutorial on how to create your YouTube channel art. So when you create a new YouTube channel, you have this area where you can put an image, and you have this area where you can put your logo. So I wanted to design this area for our new YouTube channel we're gonna do for Grapheme Solutions. So, and I didn't exactly knew how to do it. So first of all, what I did is I went and I searched for a YouTube channel art template. So I'm sure there was something out there that will provide a template. So I found this on Google. I'll paste the link here under the video description. So I'm just making sure I'm keeping that link. Now, if you scroll down here, create or edit channel art. At the bottom, you'll see image, size, and file guidelines. So if you click on that, you will be able to download a zip file which contains the Photoshop file for designing the YouTube channel art. All right, so now once you download that, you just unzip it and you will have the PSD file. So you simply launch that PSD file and it will look like this. So it's great because it tells you exactly where you can put, let's say, your logo or your text or something like that. Because you have the TV format, you have the desktop format, the tablet, the desktop minimum for mobile as well. So now what I did, I wanted just like kind of a generic background of, let's say, computer, and maybe put some text in there. So what I did is I went to Unsplash. So if you go to unsplash.com, it's a great website. All the pictures in there are free, royalty free. You can use them as you wish. You can give the credit back to the author. That's great. You should do that. But you don't have to pay anything. It's awesome, and it's very good quality actually. I'm very surprised. So I went there and I looked for a picture, and I wanted something dark, you know, for Grapheme. And you know what? I wanted to download this one, but I just saw this one. This one is kind of cool, so I'll just download this one as well. I'm just gonna save it there, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open it in Photoshop. I'm just gonna go here, open with Photoshop. Sorry, I'm in the other screen. So I think this is kind of a cool picture, right? So I kind of love it. So I like the colors, right? It's great. So I'm gonna use it there in my channel art template. So I'm gonna go here. It says your art right there. So I'm just gonna create a new layer, and I'm gonna paste the images. Now, yeah, that's kind of a little problem with the RGB setting, but you know what? I don't care. I'm not gonna print, so I'll just click OK. It's gonna convert it. So now let's just resize it because it's way too big for that. So I'm just gonna make it like this right there, and then I might put that in the middle. Something like this. All right, and so let's see. So see, if you want, you can hide this layer here at the top, so it will show the full pictures and how it'll look like. Now, one thing is I want to put some text in there, but this is quite bright, right? So what I did is I created a new layer. I'm just gonna do it from scratch. So new layer, I selected like a dark color, and then applied that color to that layer, and then I changed the opacity of that layer. So I just fade that into a black, right? So that we can write some stuff over it. So let's do that. So what I did is I picked some font from Typekit. When you are a Adobe customer, you have a Typekit subscription, so you can actually go and download any kind of font and sync them to your computer. So I found this kind of cool font here, web stuff and other stuff. It's kind of a stencil kind of thing, and so I just, yeah, web stuff and other stuff. That's mine. My title and subtitles is "Let's Talk About Web, Baby." Yeah, kind of a reference of a really good song in my when I was young. All right, so now let's check the alignment. So we're pretty well aligned. Maybe that picture, I'm just gonna change a little bit the, let's see. Oh yeah, it doesn't go. Yeah, so the picture was not centered by itself. So let me just see if I can center it a little bit better. Like this. Yeah, okay, I think that's it. Now I'm gonna center these things in the middle of the, whoops, I'm just gonna select these two texts in the middle of it here. like that. I think that's fine. And then let's check it out. Cool. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool. It's maybe not the best, but one thing I can do as well is maybe I can blur a little bit this area. Okay, so check this out, what you can do. Let's select our layer with the picture. Usually I like to duplicate that layer when I do this kind of thing in case something goes wrong, so I have a copy. So what I'll do is I'll grab this elliptical marquee and I'll try to select like this area, like this. Let's move it a little bit, or maybe a little bit less. Let's see, sorry, like this. All right, yeah, that's kind of cool. So now what I want to do is I want to do a blur within that area. So you see I want to do a blur right there. So what I'll do is I want that blur to kind of fade away a little bit. So I would go to select and I would go to modify and I'll do a feather. Okay, and I'll do it for how big my layer is. I'll do it for 100 pixels. Okay, so modify a little bit, but we don't really see it yet. So now the next thing I want to do is I want to go to filter, blur, and then Gaussian blur like this, and I can play with it. See, now it's kind of too intense. So you see when there's no blur, and then a little bit more like this, and then I'll remove this. So you see it makes the text a little bit more readable, right? A little bit more contrast and readable. I could even apply some stuff like I don't know, maybe drop shadow. Drop shadow are kind of weird these days. It's kind of coming back, but they need to be really subtle. So I'll do a drop shadow right there, and yeah, it's not bad actually. Let's check it out. Yeah, so it doesn't show too much, right? It's kind of, yeah, I like it. Let's do it. Perfect. The other picture I chose, I can show you, it was this one. This one's not bad as well. I kind of like this one as well. So it looks like in the dark corner, we're going to talk about web, you know. So it feels even more legit. But the thing I did is I did my blur very wrongly. So I'm going to redo that from scratch. I had this picture. Let me see. Okay, let me open it back. Open with... all right, it's right there. Perfect. So I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna create a new layer. I'm gonna paste it. Click that, and then I need to resize because it's way too big. Okay. Now let's zoom in. Now let's check our spec as well again. Okay, I want to bring that computer a bit higher, like this. Yeah, I think it's cool. Super duper cool. Sounds like a dork. Okay, so let's do our selection. Did I have my history selection? I don't really, let me see. Yeah, I'll just do it again. So this one, elliptical marquee tool. Do this. I'll do a nice feather to it. So select. Modify feather, and I'll do 100 pixels. Yeah, 100 pixels fine. And then we'll go ahead and do a filter, blur, and then a Gaussian blur. Gaussian blur is great because it feels really like more like a legit kind of a length blur. Let's do this and see. Yeah, it's much better. You see, so we don't have that kind of line that was kind of really annoying. All right. So next thing, I think it's good. We're gonna test it. So I'm gonna save it. You go export as. I think the format doesn't matter too much. And you know what? I know YouTube will most likely compress my image already. So I'm just gonna export it very high in the JPEG format. 100%. I'm gonna leave it there. Convert to sRGB. Yeah, fine. Let's leave it as is. And then we'll export. And then I'll just put it there in my resource. I'll call it Graphem YouTube YouTube art. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's go back to YouTube and then add channel art. And then, 1 moment, bear with me for a second here. It was in mockups, yeah. And then let's give it a shot. Yeah, I think it works, you see, so it gives you a preview. So even on a TV, it looks good. So yeah, don't need to adjust the cropped. It's all good. Select. Oh, you see, like the alignment is a bit off. I feel we should go down a little bit here. So let me go back here. So let's grab these two. Let's see. I wanna. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's just go down a little bit. Not too much. I think that will be enough. Let me check. Yeah. So we have approximately, you can always check like with the ruler. Let's see, from this point to this point we have 94, and then from this point to this point we have 100. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're pretty close, so I'll just go down a little bit like this. Okay, so let's hide it, and then we'll go back and export. Same thing, export as JPEG, export, and we go overwrite that file. Good to go. Now let's change this with the little button, edit channel art, and I'll just re-upload. Perfect, select. Yeah, perfect. So I think we're pretty well centered now. I think it looks good. So, and next thing I'll do is I'll put my logo. I don't have it prepped yet, but that's my next thing. Anyway, that's how you do it for a channel art. It's pretty simple. Let me know in the comments if you have any question. Cheers.